Hit that button.
The Build 2 Media Podcast.
Why is the button sticky, Gunner?
I don't know. Good question. Dude, it's just what I do.
Build 2. Malay, Gunner, Zach, and Ben.
He literally piled it in his hole.
I mean, wouldn't you do it the first time? I would.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it wasn't mine, so.
Oh.
Now from the Liquid Nitro Studios, here's your host, Blake Anderson.
Gunner's locked and loaded.
Gunner Cummings.
I'll be completely honest, we're out of headphones.
Zach Whitties.
I bit on that so hard.
Ben Brooks.
They say that the
Don't have an hour and a half.
man is the head of the house, but the woman is the neck. And what turns the head? The neck.
Never heard that.
I haven't either.
Not even once.
Never heard.
I don't even know what just happened.
That's what I'm talking about. That's
saying,
right. That's right.
Hit the button.
You better knock that off.
You better
I'll
stop.
freaking
Tag your
don't
head.
make me Chuck Norris you.
Oh, wait, you got that wrong. The correct response is don't make me Kurt Gaber you.
Ah, that's true.
Yeah.
Well, you did hear he passed away, right?
Chuck or Kurt?
Chuck.
Yeah, I heard. Yeah, it was a while ago.
It's just me now.
Last I checked, your name was Blake Anderson, not Kurt Gaber.
Right, but not the high limit post announcer with Jace Rodman, Blake Anderson.
Not that guy.
Right.
No, not that guy.
Close.
Close.
We don't even look alike, but our names are the same.
You got a nicer beard for sure.
Yeah, I don't think he even has. He don't even. No,
No.
it's not there.
Hey, listen, we got a good one here for you guys tonight. We got a lot to talk about, Blake.
The guy's got bigger arms than me and you.
The guy we're about to talk
I think
to.
we should make him flex. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
I'm thinking the shirt, like on TV, and nice and tight around the arms. Mm-hmm. And he always holds that iPad. It's like, golly.
Yeah, he just flexing.
I know, it makes me want to go to the gym.
I mean,
Farm Boy Strong.
the late great Hulk Hogan, his 24-inch python's got nothing, and I mean nothing,
not a thing
on this guy's.
Not
pythons.
even 1 inch.
Not even 1 inch. What do you say? Should we bring him in?
Yeah, I guess. He's
All
here.
right, ladies and gentlemen, joining us on the Build 2 Media Podcast here this evening, a man who has been from one side of this country to the other more times than he can count. He is your infield reporter and one of the voices of the High Limit Series. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Tony LaPorta. What's up, dude? Welcome back.
Well, I think I'm probably done introducing people to Victory Lane or to the roulette redraw wheel after that because I just won't do as good. So this has been kind of full circle for me. I probably am done because I can't beat that. So it sucks, but now I've met my maker. So it's good to be on, and I'm glad to talk to you guys again. I appreciate you asking me and making time. So things are good. We're just here in the Quality Inn, which is the name is incorrect. There's not a lot of quality here. But yeah, we're about 4 miles from the track at Red Cedar. So we got in a few hours ago and just getting ready to head over and set up and get going tomorrow.
Right on. Can we do the flex right away?
Yeah,
I mean,
let's
since
just
we're
get that.
talking about it.
Yeah.
Come on.
Come on, Tony.
I'll even throw a right arm out there. Let's do it.
Yeah. Come on. Bring it on.
Come on.
I don't know. I mean, you could just be like, hey, which way is Victory Lane?
You're right. Hey, we're going to text you tomorrow. We're going to text you tomorrow and ask you that very same question. And all we want is just a picture back.
Yeah.
Just like.
Well, you guys, you were talking about the iPad and how I hold it. Well, what people don't realize is that iPad is actually 48 pounds.
I know.
It's very easy to look like you're flexing when you're holding that thing because I glue weights to it that that iPad case that it sits in is 47.5 pounds to help out with the half-pound iPad. So
right.
Yeah, you guys have probably better banter between the two of you than Chase and I do. So between the introduction, the banter, I mean, I really do think this probably will be my last week on the road after people see this. So I'm excited.
Well, we appreciate it. I'm flattered and blushing right now.
Yeah,
so.
same here, man. Yeah. I mean, you get that compliment like that from you, Tony, is pretty intense. And also, it's understandable why your iPad case has to weigh 47.5 pounds. As busy as you are, you got no time to get to the gym, man. You got to get your workouts in when you can get them, you know?
Well, did you guys see the video? They kind of roasted me, but the start of the broadcast at Butler last Saturday, I didn't realize. Did you see that, Blake?
Yeah.
I did not.
Yeah, so
I did not. I'm gonna have to watch.
I was in the pit area, and I do this only a couple times a year. But if I'm walking around, I'm feeling kind of small, like I haven't gotten to the gym in a little bit, I'll stop in and I'll ask a team to let me, use a rear end assembly. And I was caught on camera curling Cy Lynch's rear end assembly. That sounded really bad.
Yeah, assembly.
Yeah, notice how quickly I said assembly. The rear end from Cy Lynch's car I used as a quick little pre-workout or pre-race workout. But yeah, it is very hard to take care of yourself when you're out on the road. So we're going to go do some of that here after this recording with a big healthy dinner, probably, somewhere that doesn't have a drive-through for the first time in a couple days.
Yeah.
So I'm really looking forward to that.
There you go.
I have noticed a lot of Chipotle gets taken down the old hatch on the road.
Yes, we are big. Certainly more last year. The last couple of years, I traveled in what's known as just the rental car with our social media guy, Brian Walker. Rodman rides in that car, and then Anthony Carini with timing and scoring. I traveled with those guys the last couple of years. We are all big Chipotle fans. This year, I'm traveling in the dually that pulls the tech trailer, which is just filled with side-by-sides and banners and all the equipment that it takes to put on our races. And I travel with the officials, Cody Houston, Trent Hetzer, Jake Ingram. And because of the trucks and the trailers, it's a lot harder to find places to pull in and eat. Chipotles are usually in like smaller parking lots, tougher to get to. So not as much Chipotle these days. It's a lot of Loves. It's a lot of Pilots, whatever fast food places are in there. And this week, crisscrossing through Iowa and Wisconsin, it's a lot of Quick Stars. Big Quick Star guy, falling in love with that gas station.
Oh yeah,
hell yeah,
yeah. Quick Start and Quick Trip they're the same brand, and
Yes.
you are actually right in this country, right around here is where Quick Trip was actually founded. It was actually founded in Eau Claire, which is about 30 miles east of you right now. So yeah, they actually do make it a point to have really good food there.
I just had cheese curds the other day after coming back from 141, and I'm like, daggum.
Yeah,
These are actually
they're
really good.
and also, Tony, it's interesting to talk about that too, because anybody who's into taking care of themselves and all that, you got to really work hard at being able to eat right when you're out on the road.
Yes.
I mean, it's so easy to go through a drive-through or something and grab stuff. So yeah, you got to really work hard at that.
I agree, and that's definitely one of the hardest parts of this lifestyle. And you guys travel, you work in racing, you are part of it, so you're not new to this, but yeah, that is absolutely, I would say, the hardest part. Aside from like missing, time with your friends and your family, which thankfully I'm young enough where that's not a major deterrent to me. I can absolutely say, I mean, literally my last 3 or 4 meals have come from gas stations, and especially when it is at a Quick Star or a Casey's, you walk in and I mean, I don't know, this might make me sound like, really disgusting or whatever, but it's like you walk in and you see all this stuff and you're like, man, dude, I want all of it, right?
Yeah.
There's everything. There's everything from the baked goods to the hot food to the snacks, the candy and the chips aisle, and whatever, man. I'm not fooling anybody, right? I'm not a size 0, so you go in and you're like, man, I got to get some of these and I want to try those, and you forget, like, Jesus, we're about to get into a truck for 6 more hours. It's just gonna sit there. So. Yeah, it's very, very tough. And I once heard, I didn't even hear him say this, but Justin Grant, USAC legend, good friend of mine, and I believe Brian Walker told me that Justin Grant said this. And again, wherever it comes from, whoever said it, I agree with it 1,000%. The saying is that the gym is for your mind, the diet is for your body. Mm-hmm. And I have never heard anything I relate to more than going to the gym, working out, just, treadmill, weights, whatever it is. When you put your body through that movement and that strain, you leave and you just feel incredible. But it only does this much for your body. It's the diet. It's what you're eating. It's how much you're eating. That's the biggest challenge with traveling, with racing, and having a professional traveler's kind of lifestyle. You are just faced with very little options for a good diet. But It is possible. I'm just lazy, and I like, I've never seen a roller dog that I didn't think I could take down. So, I know we're not really talking about the on track racing stuff you guys wanted to, but
no, this is great.
It's a glamorous life out here on the road.
Yeah. This content is great too, and I'll tell you, it is like you said. You walk into a Casey's, you look at that pizza, and you're going,
I need that.
I need that yesterday and today and tomorrow. Yeah. Pizza, especially for gas station pizza, it's really good.
Yeah. It's people sleep on Pilot Truck Stop Pizza. Pilot Truck Stop Pizza is honestly, as far as just pizza goes, not gas station pizza, not gas station food. Pilot Truck Stop Pizza is in the top half of pizza I've eaten, and I've eaten a lot of pizza. Again, nobody's surprised to hear that statement. So we got done at a race. Man, where were we? Missouri. We were on our way to Lucas Oil, I think, or we had just come back from Lucas Oil. I think we had just come back from Lucas Oil, and we were in a hotel on the other side of a 2-lane road from a Pilot, and I walked in there and they didn't have anything. But I literally heard the guy in the back say, putting a pizza in. And I asked him, I said, how long is that going to be? He goes, 10, 12 minutes. And my ride left, and they drove back across the street to the hotel because I stayed there and I waited for a fresh Pilot pizza so I could get 1 or maybe 3 slices to walk back across the street. And this was at like 1:40 in the morning. And I was like, I'm not going to eat a bag of chips for dinner. I'm going to have something good for me, a Pilot pizza. And so that's that. If you haven't had Pilot pizza, you got to try it. Their stuff's very good. And this is not an ad. They do not sponsor me, but I still am.
I agree. Pilot pizza is really good.
I've never had one. I'm going to have to try now.
Right? Yeah, you got to go find a Pilot. Yep, you have to. I agree. I agree with your assessment on Pilot pizza, though, Tony. That's good stuff.
So since we're on the topic of food, I mean, we just on our way to 141 the other day. You were there last year. We stopped down in, I believe it was Wausau, at a Chipotle.
Mm-hmm.
So since me and Jesse Glenn's just ordered from there, I would like to know what your go-to order is, kind of maybe highlight our 2-minute question and get you a go-to Chipotle order question out there.
Yeah. I mean, again, I've been in the gym a lot these last couple of off seasons. So you try to be smart and go with the bowl when you can. And it's so funny, like a year or so ago, I started seeing all this stuff on social media about like they're calling bowls at Chipotle or Qdoba or wherever you go to get a bowl made. Like there's some like massive like slander campaign to call that stuff corporate slop. And I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. It's rice and cheese and steak or chicken. I love it. But bowls are also hard to eat because the rice is so very little and it's hard for me to get all of it on my fork. I like their burritos, but I'll be honest with you. If I could only get one thing from Chipotle, if I could only get one thing from fast food restaurants for the rest of my life, there's a very high likelihood it would be the Chipotle's Carnitas quesadilla. I order those in multiples when I go because the Carnitas quesadilla from Chipotle makes me see things and think things and feel things that I've never seen, thought, or felt. So yeah, the any of their quesadillas are really good. They do something with their cheese. They probably like, soak it in Nevada oil or get trans fats all over it, whatever. But man, a Carnitas quesadilla from Chipotle will make me act up in a certain kind of way.
I have to try the Carnita now.
Yeah,
I went with the barbacoa.
It's so good. All their protein is good, right? All their protein is good, but like just in quesadilla form, it's like, wow.
We should bring one tomorrow.
Yeah.
You want one tomorrow?
No, I don't want one tomorrow. I remember last time we were on this program, we talked about Culver's.
Yes, sir.
And how there's one right across the street from Red Cedar. So I will probably, what's that social media, another Instagram guy, and he goes, that would be my big fat ass. Well, my big fat ass will be at Culver's tomorrow. So do not worry about bringing any Chipotle because I will be wedged into the corner booth at the Culver's putting down 50 count of pretzel bites. So that's where I'll be tomorrow.
There you go. There you go.
With the cheese.
Good. Yeah. Oh, obviously.
Yeah.
Like, what are you, crazy?
Can't have pretzel bites without cheese.
Good free Fox Sports 1 meal, a pound or two of pretzel bites.
Right on, brother.
Yeah. It gets you good and amped up, right?
Yeah. It makes me light on my feet. I can move around quickly. It's a lot of melted dairy right before a night of television. It's usually kind of my go-to.
Well, if you need a ride, just let me know. I'll be there all day.
God, I appreciate that. Like, what do you mean, a ride to the restaurant or a ride to the hospital?
Anywhere.
Either way.
They're both close enough. I can get you on the side-by-side and haul you there.
Yep.
Got it. I appreciate that. Thank you.
Speaking of the FS1 deal, I mean, when you first heard about that, how did that all come about, and how cool has it been to be on national TV? I mean, I know that your schedules get a little tighter when you are on the FS1, but how has the response been as far as being on national TV?
Shipping freight and tired of guessing if you're getting a fair rate? QualityFreightRate.com cuts through the noise, compares real carrier pricing, and gets you the best freight rate fast. No fluff, just better pricing. Check them out at QualityFreightRate.com, and don't forget promo code BUILT2 for 10% off your first shipment.
Yeah, it's great, right? Like, so I mean, as far as how it all came together, I mean, that is a partnership of High Limits. Well, it's a partnership through Flow, right? So Flow, and this is obviously business that I don't think you guys are asking about, but I'll just tell you, I don't know a ton about it, but it's just that Flow has a relationship with FS1. My loose understanding of it is this, FS1, ABC, NBC, ESPN, whatever, right? You just think of a network out there. Well, they need programming to fill their channel to sell to advertisers, right? Like, what's the saying? TV shows are the things that play between car commercials or whatever. So Flow has a deal with FS1. I don't know how long. I remember a couple of years ago when they were doing like Dirt season 1, that documentary that followed Kyle and Tyler and Justin and T-Mez. That ended up on FS1, and I'm guessing that was maybe the start of their relationship. And then Dirt season 2, the year with High Limit, ended up on there, and now it's like they've gotten a deal with FS1 where it's like, well, hey, what about some live content? Would you guys like some live, externally produced content? And obviously, FS1 is like, sure, we'll try it. They're going all in on racing. Think about it. FS1 is now the home to IndyCar racing. Fox has the first like half or third of the NASCAR Cup schedule. So all these things are cyclical in broadcasting, where different networks go all in on a different type of sport, right? So obviously, if you're the NFL, everybody's going in all in on you. But I think ESPN's losing their MLB rights at the end of this season, and maybe Fox picks those. I don't know, but anyway. Yeah, so it's just a deal where Chase and I got told, hey, you're going to do some races, and those will be aired on FS1 simultaneously to when they're being aired on Flow. So as far as we're concerned, it's just a normal night. We're just told to, do our normal jobs. But then, yes, the schedule does get very tight. Things change because we have to make a deal with FS1 where, hey, our whole will be done from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. or 7:30 to 9:30 or 6:30 to 8:30. It's a 2-hour window. So that changes things. That makes not every night will we do the wheel. The schedule just won't allow it. Or if we do the wheel, I'm told you have 7 minutes to do the wheel. It can't be over. And if it's under, okay. So it just changes things. You got to go about things a little bit differently. We can't do certain things. The dice roll doesn't happen live on it. To do with gambling and putting that on live television, because it technically is gambling because the fan has a chance to win money. So yeah, the FS1 thing is really cool. Everything just becomes a little bit, I don't know, stiffer. Not stiffer, because it's not like stiff in the sense of how we present it, but more regimented, I guess. So yeah, you guys know it. You have advertisers. When you got ads, you got to work in and stuff like that. But it's cool. I will admit, the first time you do it, it's very nerve-wracking because you're just aware that you're on a way bigger stage, right? Votto, if you go back and watch the Votto broadcast, it's one of my worst nights on air. I hated it. I didn't like how I did. I was in my head. I was thinking about it. Questions were messed up. You step on your words. You're moving so quick. But by our last one in Grandview, at Grandview in Pennsylvania, it's just like anything. The first time you ride a bike, you're scared of falling. So you probably fell. By the 5th time of riding a bike, you're a lot better at it. So yeah, the FS1 races are really cool. Sometimes we got to get out quick after the race if we run over our TV window, so interviews might get missed or this or that. But Yeah, it's a super cool experience. It's an honor to be a part of a national television broadcast. And ultimately, it's just proof that High Limit and Flow are doing things for the sport of sprint car racing that no one else is doing.
100%.
Because High Limit and Flow are putting sprint car racing on live national television, and that's a good thing. I don't care what anyone else says.
I definitely agree. And
Yeah.
the group you guys got is just so good.
Yeah, it really, and it's good not only for just sprint car racing, it's good for motorsports as a whole, right? Because anytime we can get live exposure to what it is that we've devoted our lives to, right? That means more people are going to come in, more people are going to buy tickets, attract more sponsors. It's all,
Right.
Yeah. But talking about those windows that you got to fit in, right? And the first time as you were talking, I'm thinking about the first time that I did stuff on the microphone that was asked of me. God, and you fumble through it, and you're just like, But the cool part is that only you know, right? Yeah, really, only you know. And like when I'm on the microphone, only I know. So when you're having one of those bad nights like that, how do you talk yourself out of it? Because I need to know, because I'm in my own head all the time.
Yeah, it's really hard. I'm not going to lie to you, right? And this will, poor Tony, poor baby, but it's really hard. And everybody, the people in your life will tell you, oh, you're being too hard on yourself. And then people who don't know you'll be like, yeah, you screwed up, stupid. I'm very hard on myself, and I've got people in the pit area. I've got people in my life that are like, hey, you need to like chill out, because most of all, you can't fix it, right? It's over. So that's one thing. Like when I was at USAC, I would just beat the hell out of myself, because I'd get online and I'd see what Twitter was saying, and it was terrible. And then I would just internalize it and be like, they're right. Like, you did screw that up. But why don't you know that? Or how come you didn't say that? Or why did you say that? And so I guess the biggest thing that I would tell you or anybody else, and what I need to tell myself every single time I mess up, is genuinely, as hard as this is to swallow and take, you can't change it no matter what you think, no matter how you beat yourself up. I mean, I can sit here and punch myself in the head all night, but it's not going to take back what I screwed up. It's not going to make it sound any better. It's not going to fix the timing, nothing. So, you want to tell yourself all these things like, oh, you tried your best and you worked really hard, but that doesn't matter. Nobody cares, right?
Right.
If effort equaled results, then the donkey would own the farm. So
it's a good line.
All you can do, I heard it somewhere in probably a movie or a show, but yeah, all you can do is tell yourself, like, you gotta get past it, because there's something else coming up. And if you screw that up, you're going to be even more mad at yourself. So it's just like being a driver, being a crew guy, whatever, right? Anything in life. If you screw it up, you got to focus forward and try to keep moving. Although it feels great to sit and wallow in it, I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
That doesn't help you. It doesn't fix the problem. It doesn't make up for the mistake. You just got to go, all right, what did I do wrong? How do I make sure I don't do it again? And now here's my chance. Don't do it again.
Right.
Yep. Really, what you're saying is the same stuff that I've told myself too. Yeah. But it also,
and don't look at the comments.
Yeah.
Stuff too.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm still trying to, and I won't lie. I mean, it's not like USAC in 2021 where like most nights were bad. Most nights were a lot of people, drivers, sometimes like family. It's at USAC. I was getting on the internet to get kicked in between the legs. It's great. These days, one, I just speak way less. You can't talk as much as a pit reporter as you do the lead announcer. So, and it's not like Chase and I sit around and go through our Twitter accounts and say, oh, who tweeted you tonight? What did they say? But I have no doubt that Chase probably sees a larger volume of negativity, not because he's doing anything wrong, but just because when you talk that much, you just have way more opportunity for someone to find something wrong with.
Right.
So I don't know if it was Anthony Creaney. Somebody recently told me, and I agree again very much with this, maybe the worst thing to ever happen to dirt track and grassroots announcers is streaming, because it gets you out on this big stage and it gets you to all these different people, which is great and all. But think about it. 15 years ago, 10 years ago, when you went to your favorite short track, you heard that announcer that one night. And if you followed the series to a few races, you might hear him those nights. But that was it. Well, now, if you're a World of Outlaws fan, or you're a High Limit fan, or you're a USAC fan, you have the opportunity to listen to Johnny Gibson over 80 times a year. You have the opportunity to listen to Chase Rodman over 60 times a year. You have the opportunity to listen to Brian Holbert over 70, 80 times a year.
Yeah.
And what that really does is it lets you find out, oh, I don't like that he says that, or I don't like how he says that, or why does he always say it like that? Well, it's because I don't think dirt track announcers they may have never been intended to be heard 90 times a year.
Right.
So you just, it's like if you went to your favorite restaurant and you had the same meal 100 times a year, eventually you'd find out what you don't like about it. So yeah, probably way off the original question, but it's good, but it's also not very good sometimes.
Right.
It also is the worst thing when you know you've had a bad show or a bad performance, and then you go back and listen to it, and then you listen to it again, and you listen to it again. I've done that before, and you just try to overanalyze everything.
Yeah.
But enough.
Oh, totally.
Yeah, it's bad. But enough about Tony. You and I could talk announcer stuff all day long, but let's get to the important stuff. Let's talk about what we can expect for tomorrow night. So, what can the fans expect for tomorrow night at Red Cedar Speedway? Like as far as
you go back, if you go back, which I had to do because we race so much, I have to go back and look at stuff to remind myself, but. If you go back and look at the replay from last year, which you can do if you have a Flow Racing subscription, you can watch an entire replay of the night or just the feature. And man, what a great race, right? It comes down at the very end to Rico and Kyle. Kyle's just driving his brains out, which is, I think, just that guy's like constant mode. And he's just ripping laps and working the bottom and then getting up to the top where Rico is in 3 and 4. And he's chasing Rico down and ends up just barely missing him, but has a really, really exciting end of the race. And the track, from what I saw and the little bit of the replay I watched, got really, really wide. Rico was like glued to the top, I think, in both ends. Kyle ended up trying to make it work. Well, not trying. He made it work. He was able to, just dive bomb the bottom and make up a bunch of ground. But Rico could just stay so planted. Chase described it perfectly towards the end of the race. The cushion is up to the concrete off of 4, I think is what he said. So really wide track. And what's really funny is coming into this road trip, I was talking to people about, some short little bull rings we're getting to go to. And somebody goes, yeah, well, except for Red Cedar. And I don't know why, but in my head, I just remember Red Cedar as like a small track. I think it's because it's like a small property. It's like a small sort of venue. But in reality, what is it, a half mile or just a tick under? Yeah. So, I mean, I don't know. What is it? What do you guys officially, or what do you measure?
It's a little
at?
bigger. I think it's right around 3/8 on the outside.
On the outside, it measures like a third, and I think on the inside, it measures 3/8, something like that. But it also,
what I thought is somebody said to me that it was a half mile, and I was like, man, that seems a little bit big. So, but it's a bigger track, right? It's bigger than where we were just last night at DuQuoin. Were we in DuQuoin? No. Davenport. I knew it started with a D. So, but anyway, Red Cedar raced so well, and I think we're going to kind of make this my story that I talk about at the beginning of the broadcast on FS1 tomorrow night. The thing I like the most is that it's unpredictable because up until last year, probably 90% of our full-timers had never even seen the place. Right. So I like that. I like that we go to places where guys don't have a notebook, this thick, and they can't, roll in and have quick time figured out already. And so I like the fact that we go to places that nobody really has a handle on, and Red Cedar certainly falls into that category.
It also races a hell of a lot bigger than it looks too. Yeah. Yeah, he's been on it
maybe
in a wingless car. He's been on it. I used to race on races a lot bigger than what it looks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would agree. So I like Red Cedar. I like the fact that it takes us to a really cool part of the country. And when you have a race that comes down, and also the other thing that I think made me think it was really small was in the post-race interview, we talked a lot with Rico and Kyle and Tanner. Well, all three of those guys grew up racing cage karts and outlaw karts out in Red Bluff in California, which, maybe you guys are familiar with it, maybe you're not, but that style of racing is extremely tight, extremely compact, short little bull rings, even for go-karts. And the fact that Rico, Kyle, and Tanner were your podium, that probably just, tricked me into thinking it was a small bull ring. But yeah, really good race last year. I expect nothing less tomorrow night.
Yeah, funny you bring that up because I actually raced against Kyle in Knoxville at the go-kart track. And then even on top of that, Thunder Hill's about 20 minutes away. which is where I started the wing carts and the 500s. And then, now I actually get to go to that big track, and I do very well every time I've been there. So I 100% agree with that. That's I never even thought of that, but that's a great way to put it.
Yeah.
Well, and ultimately it's lazy, right? To think, oh, those three guys did good. It must have been a short track. Well, that's just lazy thinking, because look at all three of those guys. They've won everywhere, right?
Yeah.
They're good everywhere.
Yeah.
And I think it was last night at Davenport. I want to say it was Britton Marvel, who is Tanner's right-hand man, car chief, lead mechanic on that race car with Tanner. And I think he was sitting in our command center after getting his pit pass, and we were talking about going to Red Cedar. And I think it was Britton. He goes, yeah, that was kind of like our kickstart or our jumping off point last year to when we really got rolling. And he's right, because they were third. And then I don't know if they finished outside of the top 10 for quite a few more weeks. They had a good run to start the summer at Port Royal, which that was a crazy thing to say, because Tanner Thorson will be the first to tell you he hates half miles. And they had a top 10, I think, on the final night of the Likert, and then they just had like a run of like 14 or 15 races where they missed the top 10 maybe 2 times. And then they had a podium here, which really got their year going. And I just rewatched those interviews, and Tanner talked about, man, we really feel like we're hitting on stuff and people are starting to notice. And he was right. They had hit on something. That 4-coil car was coming to life at this point last summer. And so I'm excited to see what he can do, because he really needs a good run after the last couple of nights Thorson's had.
Yeah. And it was cool talking to him at Red Cedar too, because he went out for hot laps and he's like, man, I'm feeling pretty damn good about this place. You guys just make sure you don't mess it up out there, And that was like, oh shit.
Yeah. No pressure.
Yeah. What are you talking about, Tanner?
Right. No pressure.
That's a very Tanner Thorson sounding line. If you would have told me somebody said that, not said who, I probably would have guessed Tanner or Aaron probably.
Speaking of Aaron, him and Reutzel what a battle and what a month of May for Reutzel.
Dude, what a month of May! What a year he's had so far, right?
Wow.
And there's a lot you could attribute it to. We've interviewed him a lot, and I'm fortunate to have a good relationship with him where he's talked off camera and away from the media, which I guess technically I am. But he's got a lot of things that you could chalk up his success to, right? He bounces back after that terrible foot injury at Eldora last summer. He's talked a lot about the fact that he put on all this weight sitting around. He couldn't move. He couldn't do anything. He puts on some weight, sits around, eats, drinks all last summer and fall. And then he comes in over the offseason. He has talked in interviews about being inspired or almost challenged by Rico, and how much Rico puts into his fitness, that Aaron goes, I knew I had to get to the point where I could match him physically, or be at least as close as possible. Yeah. So he's taken his physical fitness very seriously. He went down and had a really good Australia off season. Yeah. He didn't look like it with us at High Limit International, but after High Limit International Perth, he goes out and just him and Luch Monte had a great Australian summer down there. He's put a lot of time into his program, getting stuff prepared here back at home. And so it's paying off now, right? He comes out and he just rips right into the championship lead, and he's winning all these big races. He goes and he runs well against the Outlaws. He goes and he runs well at local shows. He goes and wins high limit races. So yeah, Aaron is, I don't want to say driving the best he ever has or is performing the best he's ever had, because I haven't been in the sport his whole career. I can't sit here and tell you, oh, he looks way better than 5 years ago, or he looks way better than 7 years ago, because I don't know what he looked like 7 years ago. But I know that he and his team are operating the best I've ever seen them. Oh, yeah. And I think they're certainly setting the pace in the pits, at the car wash, during maintenance, out on the track, for everybody else in the high limit pit area right now.
It's absolutely crazy.
Yeah, it really is. And tomorrow we're expecting Kyle Larson to show up too, right? So how does that change the atmosphere in the pits when he shows up? Or does it change at all? And does that throw a curveball at these other teams that not only they gotta, like this 4-race swing you guys got coming up here, they got to be prepped for that. But then also you got Kyle coming in and entering the chat, so to speak. So does that change the atmosphere overall in the pits at all when he shows up? Or is it pretty much just everybody's got blinders on and focusing on their own stuff?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think it's more of the latter, because, this is a national championship. We're in the middle of this crazy 14-day, 9 races, 7-state run. So I'll tell you now, none of the teams or competitors or drivers would tell you, oh, yeah, it's way different when Kyle shows up, because it's just not. It's different in the sense that there's sometimes more people in the pit area. There's more people at his trailer. So the last night at Davenport, Paul Silva and Tress pulled in and they parked next to Chase Randall, I think. And we all joked and we were like, oh, that's going to upset Chase and his team, because now they're going to have a massive crowd by their car no matter what happens when the night's over. And then, of course, Kyle goes and wins. So Randall's crew is trying to clean up and tear down and do all their normal stuff, and they've got a line a couple hundred people long out the back. So yeah, there's more people. There's a little bit of a harder time to move through the pit area. That's not a joke. So that changes. But no, I don't think Brent Marks or Aaron Reutzel or Tanner Thorson go, oh man, Kyle's here tonight, because he is literally just like every single one of these guys who is drive and win and make as much money in his sprint car as he can and then go to the next one. So no, I wouldn't say the atmosphere changes. It's just one more guy to beat. He's probably going to be up at the front of the field. So I don't think the atmosphere changes.
What do you think about Gio Scelzi? I mean, as far as this Roto-Rooter week of money, he's been doing damn good in all of them shows from what I've seen. And then same thing with, his outstanding top 10 streak he's got going on. Who are you picking for tomorrow night?
Well, to answer your first question, what do I think about Gio? I think he is a massive addition to high limit racing. And I like him a lot as just a dude. He's hilarious. I love hanging out with him. Him and his brother are two of the coolest, most enjoyable people to be around. I love them. If I could host a nightly or a weekly or a monthly, whatever, internet talk show like you guys are doing with Dominic Scelzi, I'd do it in a heartbeat, right? That guy's hilarious, and Giovanni is as well. It's funny because I know, and Gio's talked about this publicly, Giovanni is, or at least he was, he very well still may be, an outlaw guy at heart, because they grew up watching the Outlaws. They grew up going to outlaw races. They grew up listening to them before there was a full-time stream covering the Outlaws. And I know, everything goes crazy last summer. He gets out of his ride in the 18 car, and then Tyler gets hurt, and a deal gets done to fill in for Tyler. And, I don't think it's too far to say that at times last summer, him and his girlfriend, Maddie, might have kind of been like, what are we doing here? This isn't the Outlaws. This isn't what we thought we were doing. But the opportunity comes, and he gets this great ride with Spire, and he's full-time racing again. Listen, he's a race car driver. We saw it with Spencer Baston last year. He was a high roller from the very first year it went national. He was a strong supporter of the series, but opportunities changed, seats swapped, and now he's an outlaw. And he was an outlaw before. So at the end of the day, those guys are just race car drivers. They're there to make money and win races. So I'm not really going to fault a guy for switching from one to the other. If he was an outlaw, now he's a high roller, or if he was a high roller, now he's an outlaw. They're just there to make money. But I will tell you, I think Giovanni has been a massive addition to the pit area, because he's a great competitor, because he's an awesome guy, because he sells merchandise, because he supports the sport. And then for them to show up and be as consistent as they were, 15 straight races with a top 10, he just missed the mark at Butler to end his streak. He tied Brad for the most top 10s in series history consecutively. I'm happy Giovanni Scelzi is on the road with high limit.
Well,
and I'm sure he is as well, because
Chili's, Carson Hoskovar coming down,
Yeah. I told myself at the beginning of the year, every time I interviewed Gio, I would ask him about a different menu on the Chili's, or a different item on the Chili's menu. I haven't been very good at that, but I love that he's in the pit area. I love that he's on track. I love the look of that car. I love Spire. His crew chief, Eric Pretzman, is great to have back in the pits. That was Brad's crew chief for a very long time. So again, long answer to a short question. I'm very happy Giovanni Scelzi is with us at high limit. Who do I have winning? Who's my pick for tomorrow night? Obvious answer. I tell everyone, it's never a question. my pick to win tomorrow night with high limit racing is the fans. So is that a bit of a dodge of the actual question? Yes. Will it piss off any drivers and keep them from talking to me? No. So I think the winners tomorrow night will be in the grandstands and those folks watching at home on Fluff.
Great answer.
No, Blake, that's a great answer.
Yeah.
You gotta put a little stank on that.
Sorry,
Right? Yeah.
you're the announcer. I'll let you.
You got to
do
put
it.
a little stank on that.
Yeah, I'll let you do it.
I like that. I've used similar versions of that before, just to try and weave around. Like, people come up to me and ask me at my track who's going to win or who's my pick. My pick's you, because you're here and you get to see this stuff. That's my pick who gets to win.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, I like that. I'll steal that. That's a pretty good one.
there you go. Glad I could contribute something to you, buddy. So when it comes to this particular swing, where you guys are here tomorrow night, or Red Cedar tomorrow night, and then you go to Superior and I-94 and then Dakota State Fair Speedway,
Which is cool.
that's amazing. So how important is this swing that you guys are making to the overall championship picture?
Well, it's super important, and it's like, it's funny because, well, what makes it important? It's just a stretch of 9 races between when we kicked off at Lawrenceburg, Butler, these 4 or 5 nights, and then come back through Shelby County. We got Eagle in the middle of that, the Eagle Nationals. So on the face of it, okay, it's not that important because it's just 9 races. There's going to be 9 more, and then 9 after that. But where I think it's important is momentum. Look at what Brent Marks has done. Right? Back-to-back second place finishes. Those are his best results in the season by a mile, right? Before that, he hadn't even finished on the podium. His best finishes in 2026 were a pair of 4th place finishes. Now he has back-to-back second place runs, and he's been in contention for the win both nights between Butler and Davenport. So are the races that important or any more important? No, but it's the span of time that they're in, where if you hit on something, man, you get to keep hitting on it, right? If you do, even like us in the broadcast, when we have a really bad night on the air or we screw something up or whatever, well, it's like, okay, you're going to do it again tomorrow night. You know what you did wrong. You know what to fix. Go out and do it. And usually we do it. Same with driving a race car, where if you have a really good night, you can go and you can multiply on it and keep going. So this is a big time of the year for the teams because, man, if your stuff's right, you're probably going to stand to do well and just keep that ball rolling down the hill. If your stuff's not right, well, guess what? Now you get a bunch of nights consecutively to find out, okay, this didn't work. We need to change it. It didn't work again. We need to keep changing it. And you get all these opportunities to keep either improving or stay at the level you're at, I guess. So, yeah, this is a really, really important part of the summer or a part of the season for high limit teams right now.
Well, it's yeah, obviously, and it's a grueling time, right? Like 9 races, 14 days. That's a lot of our local guys around here obviously only race 1 night a week, but to do 9 races in 14 days, I mean, that's like a mini hell tour on the late model side, right? Yeah. Where you get a lot to do in a very short period of time. And I think you summed it up when basically you're just building your notebook, and you can build your notebook really fast in this stretch.
Well, and that's. Yeah, and Chase actually opened up the broadcast last night in Davenport by saying, like, welcome to the High Limit Hell Tour. And he's been calling it a miniature Hell Tour. And, yeah, I mean, that's kind of what it is. I would never want to do the real Hell Tour. I mean, that's insanity. I mean, I don't even know who signs up for that. Or I know who signs up, but I don't know why. So, yeah, it's really important. It's 9 races, 7 states. That's the other big one is we have some pretty decent overnight drives. I mean, even just starting it, we went from Lawrenceburg to Butler, and that overnight was, I think it was supposed to be 5 hours. A lot of us might have gone 3.5, 4. And then we had another hour to go in the morning. So it's just tough, man. So yeah, this is a part of that season where you find out like who's serious, who can be a contender, and who wants it, because man, you find that out quick. Who's going to make sure they tighten all the bolts, and who's going to make sure they groove the tires and make sure that everything's the exact numbers the crew chief calls for. So this is a hard, but a very fun part of the season. If you're a fan, it's fun for all of us. But if I was a fan, I'd be like, damn, dude, I only have to wait 24 hours or by the end of the night, 20 hours till the next race. This is a good time to be a high limit fan.
Yeah, I absolutely love it because I can either stream it like Butler, Butler was pretty awesome. Lawrenceburg was phenomenal. Like watching Kyle come from the back twice is just insanity. I don't even know how you do that at that place because it's so big. And,
Yeah.
you know, then even going from Red Cedar to Superior, like I could still go to work tomorrow, you know, or after I could still go to work, you know, Thursday and be up there to watch the race. You know, it's just nuts. It's cool that they're close enough to where, like, if you're centralized here, you can make it to all three. But
yeah, it's only a 2.5 hour drive north, really, for you guys to get up to Superior. Well, for anybody to get up to Superior from here, you're only looking at about a 2.5 hour drive north, and that track, that's going to throw some curveballs at you guys too. It's a great facility, great people up there. Joe Steria is a good friend of mine. He's the promoter up there. You guys will really like him. What's going to happen, though, the track, Blake and I, we talked about this earlier today. It's going to start out mud, and then by the end of the night, it's going to be concrete.
Yeah.
You know, so you're going to get a lot of curveballs thrown at you,
got that good red clay up there.
Yeah.
It's tacky as all get out, but
until it's not.
Right.
Until it's not.
Yeah.
I just wanted to ask me, try to finish. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
No, I was just going to add to what you guys are saying, which is that is what I like about our schedule is it is not the same 4 or 5 tracks for 10% of the schedule. It is, we're going to places like, I don't even know what a Gondik law is, but we're going there.
It's a law firm.
It is going to be, yeah. Well, I hope you don't know that from experience, but I like the fact that we're going to places that are exciting and new, and they're exciting because they're new. So yes, that is a cool part of this schedule is to go to places that these teams or drivers may have never been to.
And that track also races a lot bigger than what it looks too.
It's so awesome. I went and watched USAC up there, and I think I saw Brady Bacon fly as high as he's ever flown, even bigger than Terre Haute. But yeah, it races really well, and it's amazing scenery up there. I love Superior. To add on to, you know, your schedule thing, it's just super cool. Like the new places you guys go to, like, yeah, you don't go back the next year to some of them for your own reasons, but to get from Menomonie to Superior and then go over to I-94, just super cool to watch, and nobody else does it. There is no tour that does something like that. I mean, you don't get to see that close by or anything. 7 states.
Right.
You know, One thing I wanted to ask you kind of at the beginning when we were talking about the announcing and stuff like that, how has it been with Blake Anderson hopping in? I've enjoyed the broadcasts on the FS1 nights, and I think he's doing a fine job.
Your brother.
Yeah, my brother.
Blake's great. He's a professional announcer and broadcaster in every sense of the term. You know, I don't necessarily think it's a big secret. Blake was the first choice and had first right of refusal for the high limit job when everything happened and the All-Stars were bought and Brad and Kyle announced they were going to go national and all this stuff. So it's funny because it's a little bit like poetic justice. Like, oh, he's not the full-time. He's involved with the series and he's involved with what was technically what used to be the All-Star Circuit champions, which I think a lot of people think All-Star Circuit champions. You're going to think Blake Anderson for a very long time. Mm-hmm. Blake's great. He's one of those guys where, like, you know, he's not like necessarily pounding the pit area, going up and checking in with all these guys when he comes to our few races. But I think that's because he just has such a deep knowledge and he stays at home and just because he's not at our race, it doesn't mean he's not watching. It doesn't mean he's not consuming it. So Blake's great. It's weird because it's not like Chase really needs a second guy up there. He can do it most nights by himself because he does, but it's just a TV thing where studies and other things show that fans don't want to sit and listen to one guy call a feature where maybe there won't be another voice for anywhere from like 5 to 10 minutes. So it's a TV thing, and Blake fills the role perfectly. Yeah. You know, we had races in the past that weren't on FS1, but some of the bigger races, when they wanted to make it feel bigger, Blake would show up or Dylan Welch would show up. And I love both those guys. They're both very different at how they do their job, but they're both very good at it. So I like Blake. Just, he flies in and he flies out and you see him and then I hear him in my headset and then it's like, all right, see you at the next one. Yep. So he shows up, he does his job. He adds a lot. He adds a different perspective. I think he helps Chase carry the load of all the sponsors and all the ad reads and all the things that have to happen in a TV show. So yes, I mean, not like I think you're expecting a different answer, but Blake Anderson is a huge addition to those FS1 nights.
Perfect. I'll pull that clip right there and I'll use it on my own social media.
That's gonna be his ringtone here before too long.
Yeah. Here, let me clean it up, make it even easier for you. Blake Anderson is phenomenal to work with and makes every night better.
We need a bigger studio because this man's head's about to get really huge.
No.
Hey, Tony,
But only you guys know that I was talking about Blake Anderson from Iowa. You don't know, not talking about that Blake Anderson, but nobody else has to know.
Right. That's just it. Yeah, nobody else has to know. Hey, what can we expect for a car calling tomorrow night? And the next night.
That is a phenomenal question, and I don't know, to be honest with you. The rental car has a better idea of that because, one, Chase has to know so that he makes sure that he already has notes on everybody that is going to be there. It's a very hard job doing what he does because you have to know how the guy ran the last time he was here, or you have to know how his last race was. And then you also have to know because you need to make sure you have up-to-date sponsors and car owner information. So one, Chase does a very good job at tracking that down. And then so does Brian Walker and Anthony Creaney because they're in charge of, if it's a split field, well, they are in charge of determining who's in what group because we don't just do it right down the middle. We kind of seat the groups. So I probably should know that, but I don't, simply because those guys are on top of that stuff, and I show up on race day, and Brian's usually already got a race day graphic out, and I look at it and I go, oh, wow, 38 cars, or oh, wow, 42 cars, or whatever. So I wish I had a better answer for you on that one, but let's just say, probably 100 cars in the pit area. No, I have no idea. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I can sit here and look and tell you really quick based on what we had last year. It looks like 27 cars went out on track during hot laps, which means it wasn't a split field, and there were 3 heats. So I think it's a little bit of a tough time with where we are in the country for 410 wing racing. I mean, you guys are up here maybe talking out of my ass when I say that, but you got our 15 full timers. You got some guys from surrounding areas, or maybe some guys that are just following us through this region. But I just think it's sort of a tough call to make for local teams to show up out here sometimes because maybe there aren't a lot of local teams.
Yeah. I mean, you get some of them IRA guys that were coming from like 141 last year and stuff that came up here. And then I mean, 4 hours from Iowa, and I don't know, Austin McCarl, it seems like he likes to touch around here with the high limits there. And that's the one thing I love about high limit. I mean, just so you know, man, it's so cool to see. I don't remember who it was. You guys were out. It was probably like 2 weeks ago, but one of the outlaw, Carson Macedo, came in, and I believe gravel or whatever, or switch back and forth. It's just cool to see the rivalries, and obviously the announcers of the sport really focus in on who's better. And I just seen that Houston's put up a bounty of however many thousands of dollars to make it not be an outlaw driver winning. It's just super cool. So,
well, and here's the dirty little secret. Carson Macedo, this isn't meant to sound shitty, but Carson Macedo's a race car driver, so he wants to be at as many races as he can. And yeah, it's unfortunate that he's capped or held back a little bit from the amount of shows he probably would want to hit, but he reaches out to members of the high limit staff and he asks commonly, what's this night coming up pay? What do you guys pay on this night? What's that pay? Because one, he's no dummy. He wants to go to where the biggest money is because duh. Yeah. And he likes racing. He likes racing with the Outlaws. He likes racing with high limit. And we like it when he shows up. We like it when anybody with a 410 wing sprint car shows up, or a 360 if you're just a badass with it. So yeah, Carson reaches out a lot, and he wants to know, wait, if this rains out, where are you guys, or what? I'm sorry, he knows where we are, but I love Carson. I love Cole. I love all those guys over there because they're race car drivers, and when their schedules allow and their teams think it makes sense, they usually come over and run with us. It's unfortunate that they can't do it more often, unfortunately.
Right on, brother. Well, I want you to get out there and get a good meal, and maybe stop at the Great Escape after your meal if you don't go there for food, and enjoy some slots and good conversations and what have you. But looking really, really forward to tomorrow, meeting you again, seeing you, saying hi, shaking hands, kissing babies,
absolutely.
Things like that.
Take an official measurement of those pythons of yours, and and I will say, I will echo your sentiments, Tony. Blake Anderson is phenomenal to work with. I will echo those sentiments with you. So now you got two different ringtones you can choose from.
Tony, if you need a guy, I'm here.
Yeah. If we need a guy.
Well, I think what we should do is tomorrow just give you my headset and my microphone, and then Blake Anderson. Maybe Chase will go use the restroom, and then it can be Blake Anderson throwing it down to Blake Anderson, who will send it back up top to Blake Anderson.
Yeah, we can do that quickly. I probably won't get on the mic too long because it's an FS1 show, but I'll definitely send it back up to you, Blake.
We have a portion of the night where we're doing hot laps and qualifying before we go on FS1. So, if I have to go, cough up the undigested pretzel bites or whatever from Culver's, then we can just go, hey, Blake, we got Blake filling in down here. So this is, Blake going to give it down to Blake and then head back up to Blake. So there's no problems, man. There's only opportunities to find success.
There we go.
10-4, I'll be there tomorrow.
I like it. We're going to put Blake Anderson on camera.
With Blake Anderson. This is great. Blake Anderson will talk to Blake Anderson.
We'll do the multi-box, the 2-box thing where there's Blake without a beard and then there's Blake with a beard.
Right. All right. Sounds good to me, brother. But you guys go enjoy your night, get some good food, and we'll catch you tomorrow and appreciate you coming on.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Good talking to you.
You too, Tony. Thank you.
Thanks, Tony.
Yep.
Man, Tony LaPorta, what a great dude.
My God. He's just one of those guys you can sit down and talk with about seemingly anything, right?
Yeah.
Like, I'd love to hang out with him for like a half hour. Right. And also, we could show him how to do that weekly show. It's not that hard, just those little DJI microphones and his iPad.
Shit, we'll be on there with him.
Yeah, and his iPad.
We can run it all right here. We'll just do it with you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ideas.
I like it.
What'd that one guy say in that one treasure hunting? Clue. I think I found a clue.
Well, hey, I have an idea.
Yeah.
Let's take a short break and let's come back and let's talk.
We're going to end this one for you people on Facebook, and then we're going to come back with the R&R. But just so you know, I am very excited now because I'll probably be talking with Blake Anderson, and Blake Anderson will be talking with Blake Anderson tomorrow.
This is yeah.
What a
my mind.
Tony, man, such a good guy.
Yeah, such a good dude.
And I remember, I'm sorry, I'm kind of rambling here, but when he brings up his USAC stuff, I was there. I watched it in person and on TV weekly, and him getting down on himself, I can 100% understand what he's going against there, because once you put yourself in the public eye, even though this show, is pretty small compared to what they're doing, it still happens here.
It happens all the time. I mean, I get it. I get it twofold. But
I do agree, on his end of things, okay, Chase is the voice of High Limit.
Yes.
But on his end of pit reporting, how can you have a conversation with someone, throw in sponsors, throw in jokes against Chase, plus talk about the night, all in 2 paragraphs?
It's hard.
He's on top of it all the time. And that's the reason why we try to talk to Tony every time they're up here.
Yep.
And hopefully it can continue and we can have him on here more.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that will happen.
Yeah.
Honestly.
So for all of you people on Facebook, we will be back in about, what do you say?
A minute?
Probably be 5 minutes. We'll end this one out and we'll come back and we'll do it all over again.
And we have to do that for just publishing purposes.
Correct.
Yeah, so we have to do that for publishing purposes. So if you leave, don't go far. Don't go far. We will be right back here in just a couple of minutes.
Thank you, Red Cedar, for tuning in tonight. That's nice. Appreciate you. Look at this. Look what we can do on this show.
Yeah, watch
Hold on.
this.
Let's do this.
Watch this.
Look at.
Oh!
Look at there. There's your Red Cedar.
Yeah.
All right. What a great episode.
All right, we'll be back.
You guys.
As always, that was anticlimactic. You got something to say? Hit up the Built 2 Media podcast and let them know. Like, comment, and share on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and at built2media.com. Thank you, Built 2 Media sponsors. QualityFreightRate.com, Liquid Nitro Energy Drink, SKD, Scott King Designs, Thunderhill Speedway, Kick-Ass Beef Jerky, Jiggy Signs, Harvest Racing, K1 Race Gear by Ryan Bowers, Spot On, Point of Sale System Credit Card Processing, and PrettyPolishedJunkie.com. Get your Built 2 Media podcast fix. Get everything you want and get everything you need at built2media.com. Except for the t-shirts. Figure it out. Be back next week for another exciting Built 2 Media podcast.
The Built 2 Media Podcast.